Greetings and welcome to the School of Immortality, Chapter 8, Failing the Test, Part 1 of 3. Think for a moment about the nature of the universe you live in. What is natural on this existence? Well, all suns in the galaxy will go supernova. That is a scientific, observable fact. There are black holes in the center of galaxies, ripping them apart. Another fact. Our galaxy is riddled with destroyed planets and moons called asteroids. So what planets were destroyed in the past that they're floating around dead in pieces? Think about that one for a moment. All exoplanets are destructive to life. All these planets that we have observed that have ingredients that could sustain life, they will all kill it. The universe is accelerating and tearing itself apart year by year, and it's accelerating. Wow. Everything in this universe decays. All living things on Earth die. Every human being has a death day, an expiration date. As you can see, nothing in this universe is meant to last because this is a sinful universe. You live in a disposable universe, just like those disposable cups. You drink, crumble them, and throw them away. That's the kind of universe you live in. The purpose of this existence is to provide the fire and furnace of purification, the experience, learning, and testing of the children of God. Do you remember in the early teachings? We are in a cauldron, a melting cauldron. It's called the fires of afflictions. And I described the fire of affliction in the universe itself. Psalms 33, 13-15. The Lord looketh from heaven, he beheldeth all sons of men. From the place of his habitation, he looketh upon all the inhabitants of earth. He fashioned their hearts alike. He considereth all their works. So God sees every thought, every motive, and action from his dimension. God creates the minds of people to be capable of good and evil and considers and judges all their works. All your deeds are judged. All your actions with your hands, with your feet, with your mouth, with your thoughts. People have the choice to feed the darkness, which is stupidity of the flesh, or they have the choice to feed the light and the wisdom of the Spirit. Romans 6:16. Know ye not that whom you yield yourselves servants to obey, his servant ye are to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death, or of obedience unto righteousness. So death is sinful, fleshly, worldly ways, our evil thoughts or evil actions or evil motives equals death. Life. How do you truly obtain it? With obedience to righteousness and live by the fruits of the spirits through thoughts, actions, and motives. In this school, there are children of Satan who choose sin and choose this world, and children of God who choose obedience and live for the kingdom of heaven. So what is eternal life? True life, not this fake life that we live. Because this life is fake, it's temporarily, it does not last. So true life equals the fruits of the spirits. It's so important for the child of God to understand this. What are the fruits of the Spirit? Let's go one by one and their meaning and definition. Remember, if you don't understand the word, you're powerless. But when you read with power, you understand the word. Love, long-suffering, is patience. It's kind, selfless. It's appropriate, calm, and controlled. Thinks of others' highest good. Others, not self, but others. Rejoices in truth. Respectful. It always respects, bears all things, unconditional. Believes, hopes, endures, and never fails. That's love. And again, by the way, sex is not love. That is the perversity of this world. Joy means happiness and bliss and delight. Peace, tranquility, and quietness. Long-suffering, patiently enduring lasting offense or hardship. Gentleness, you're always soft, delicate, free from harshness, sternness, or violence. No violence whatsoever. You're delicate to other people's feelings and needs. Goodness, morally excellent, favorable character, virtuous, righteous, commendable and benevolent, reliable, agreeable, pleasant, wholesome, true, honorable, legally valid. You're adequate, satisfactory, conforming to the standards, content with what you have, and loyal. Faith, belief and trust in the loyalty to God. Firm belief in something for which there is no proof, something that is believed, especially with strong conviction. Meekness, you're mild, moderate, humble, or submissive qualities. Enduring injury with patience and without resentment. Temperance, everything in moderation, and you are calm and controlled in actions of your feelings and thoughts, and you have restraint over your flesh. In other words, you're not a baby. You act like a mature adult. What is death? This whole life, as we already discussed, is death. That's it. Destruction. And what yields the destruction of your life? The fruits of the flesh. Galatians 5:19-21. Sin and serving Satan. So if you serve the flesh, the body, in other words, your soul, you serve Satan. Adultery, voluntary sexual intercourse between a married person and someone other than the person's current spouse or partner. Fornication, consensual sexual intercourse between two persons not married to each other. Uncleanness, morally or spiritually impure, infected with a harmful supernatural contagion, lacking in clarity and precision of conception or execution. Lasciviousness, filled with or showing sexual desire. Idolatry, the worship of a physical object as a god. Immoderate attachment or devotion to something. Example, money. That's one of the big ones on this earth. Someone worships money, which is immoderate attachment or devotion to something. It can be money, it can be NFL games, it can be a cat, a dog, many things. Even your job can be a form of idolatry if you're not careful. Witchcraft, the use of sorcery or magic, communication with the devil or with a familiar spirit. A familiar spirit is evil spirit copying a dead person that's familiar to you. an irresistible influence or fascination, rituals and practices that incorporate belief in magic and that are associated especially with neo-pagan traditions and religions. Hatred, extreme dislike or disgust, ill will or resentment that is usually mutual, prejudice, hostility, or animosity. These are all fruits, stinking death fruits of the flesh. So death equals the fruits of the flesh, continuing with Galatians. Variance, perversion of truth, act contrary to usual rule. They are always in indifference or in disagreement. That means variance. These are people that are always disagreeing, confrontational, and they always say different. You say white, they'll say black. They're argumentative. Emulations means ambitious or endeavor to equal or excel others. Envious rivalry. So ambitions, overly ambition is of the flesh, or overdoing something for the sake of ambition. The world praises that, but that is a fruit of death and evil. Whoever is overly ambitious is not a man or a woman of God. It is something to be looked down upon. Wrath, strong, vengeful anger or indignation. Retributory punishment for an offense or a crime. Strife, violent conflict, struggle, fight. Seditions, those are your instigators rising against lawful authority. Heresies, an opinion, doctrine, or practice contrary to the truth in the Bible. Envyings, painful or resentful awareness of an advantage enjoyed by another person with a desire to possess the same advantage or thing that the other person has. Malice, that is evil. Murderers, the crime of unlawfully killing a person, especially with malice, a forethought, an intent of malice. Drunkenness, given to a habitual excessive use of alcohol or any other drugs by intoxication. Revelings, rowdy, disorderly, wild party or celebration, to carouse, to drink liquor freely or drugs, or excessively doing it. Matthew 7:13-14. Enter ye in the strait gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because strait is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. So many means the majority of human beings that have been on earth in the past, present, and future are led to destruction. The people of this world were meant for destruction, just like nature of the universe is. They live for this world only, and they will die with this world and die for this world also. Few means out of a human population, very few are led to life. The few live for God are not part of this world. They are just passing through. The children of saints are citizens of this world, and the children of God are citizens of the kingdom of heaven. The people who are evil are children of Satan and are an enemy of the living God. That's why Christians should never hang out with them, because they are enemy of your God. True Christians, not false Christians, will always hang out with them. Of course, they're false. They're evil. They're satanic. But a true Christian will never hang out with people that do not love God, for they're then enemies of God. Of course. Romans 3:14-18. whose mouth is full of cursing and bitterness. Their feet are swift to shed blood. Destruction and misery are in their ways, and the way of peace have they not known. There's no fear of God before their eyes. No fear of God. That means if someone is loud, is a meddling person, they're mean, violent, always causing trouble, cursing, and has no fear of God, they are evil people who are against God. Get away from them. Get away from them, because these people are failing the test. And they are an enemy of your God and of you sooner or later. Evil people are like locusts. Everything they touch, they destroy. This is why this planet has so much pollution, destruction. They're destroying the nature of this planet. I'm sure you heard of it in the news. They are children of the devil. They destroy. That's their nature. They're troublemakers. They're evil, rebellious, hard-headed. This is the reason this planet is literally being destroyed. Let me give you an example. Let's say you save for years for a new laptop, and you got this nice Intel 7 Pentium chip processor, super powerful computer, and it costs you a lot of money. You sacrificed a lot for it. You saved a lot for it. The day comes and you finally buy your own laptop. Would you willingly install a malicious virus in it that would destroy your laptop? Of course not. But this is the example of why God is doing what he's doing. This is the same reason evil is not allowed to enter eternity. Does that make sense? It's common sense. The nature of the satanic shadow is letting sin grow and flourish. That's their nature. They're sinful. For the wages of sin equals death. That's why the sin equals death, because if you have something like this, a locust living forever, it will consume everything and destroy everything. So God will destroy them in the second death. I repeat, in the second death, which we will talk about later in other chapters. Because if they were to survive and enter eternity, they would destroy eternally. Remember, the Bible's about common sense. And this is common sense. Children of Satan are always empty inside. Always. They will never be filled. They try to fill this void with things and people of this world, and pets and dogs and rescue shelters and everything you can think of, money, purses, everything, new cars, new houses. They never feel complete nor satisfied, ever. These people hate to even be alone. They will be miserable for the rest of their lives because they are walking dead. They're dead to God. They're empty shells, empty spirits, filled with destruction and misery. Nothing on earth can fill that void because they are missing true life and the purpose of mankind's future. This concludes chapter 8, part 1. Today you have received the truth directly from the Bible about the action and motives that drive people that serve Satan and people that serve God. Chapter 8, part 2 will include these things. We will continue to dive deeper into the world of darkness and expose the ones on the path on failing this test. Thank you for being here and looking for truth. May the Lord enlighten you. May the peace of God be with you. See you soon for part 2.